Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, The Miracle Tarot, here with Mia. I'm very excited today because this is the first time that I'm showing you guys my face here on YouTube. All this while you guys have been looking at my hands, so I'm really excited. And there is a reason why I'm showing you guys my face today, because I'm going to be talking about fake or knockoff tarot and oracle decks. I have one here. This is the Romance Angels by Doreen. So I got this from this shopping app called Shoppee here in Malaysia. I think they're also available on like Asian countries, and this is for the price of 15 ringgit, and you can also find this as low as 10 ringgit and as high as 18 ringgit, which is like $250 to $5 each. Yeah, that is really cheap. Let's see if this is really something that is worth buying, and if we as tarot readers should actually buy this. Before I begin, let me put it out here about my stand on fake goods, whether it's oracle cards or anything else. I personally do not support fake or knockoff tarot and oracle cards because I believe in connecting with the energy and the vibration of the original creator when they go through the process of illustrating and process of making these cards, and I feel like that's really special. That's also very spiritual. And these are made in China, so the energy and the vibration of these cards are probably, you know, in like some shady factory somewhere. Secondly, you don't know who you give your money to. As an artist myself, I feel like that's really rude and that's really offensive that you do not support the artist by buying the original deck. But I also understand why a lot of people would want to buy fake ones, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit inside this video. The reason why I got this card is because I cannot get this anywhere else. Okay, so in Malaysia, the best way for you to get tarot and oracle decks is from Book Depository because the postage is free. You can also get it from Amazon, but the postage or the delivery fee is kind of expensive, and I don't really like buying things from Amazon. And speaking of Book Depository, it's going to take a little bit longer for them to come because most of them come from the UK or the US, but there are also some high-end bookstores in Malaysia like KNOCKOFF or Borders that sell limited amount of them, limited brand that you can find, but at least there are some, and it's also a little bit expensive. I think Work Your Like Oracle that I got for 70 ringgit from Book Depository is 110 ringgit in Kinokuniya, if I'm not mistaken. Another place that you guys can also get decks is from Etsy, where you can also get a lot of independent decks that you cannot get anywhere else. That's really up to you about what kind of tarot and oracle decks that you are able to afford. I have been looking for these everywhere and I cannot find these anywhere, not on Book Depository. In Amazon, they only have a knockoff version, or you can try and get the second-hand one for $300. It's also not on Etsy, so I just had to buy one from Shoppee. I do a lot of love reading these days, and I feel like I really need this Romance Angels deck. They have really good messages, they have really direct messages, really clear, and I feel like this is the one deck that everybody who do love reading will need to have in their collection. So first, let's talk about the price point. I understand that tarot and oracle decks are really expensive for a lot of people. In Malaysia, if you look at the price points in Book Depository, so oracle decks ranges from 60 to 80 ringgit, which is equivalent to 6 to 10 meals and more. And tarot decks can range from really mini ones are like 45 ringgit, and it can go as expensive as 120 ringgit. So can you imagine, like a meal here in Malaysia is about 6 to 10 ringgit, so you just times that, you know, that's equivalent to how many meals. Another way to also compare it is 120 is like my electricity bill, and some people's electricity bills is also equivalent to 1 month's internet bill. It's also equivalent to a big bag of cat food, if that comparison can make sense to you guys. I personally feel like it doesn't make sense that you would want to buy a fake tarot deck or oracle deck at 15 ringgit when the original price is just 60 to 80 ringgit. I know that sounds like so bratty, and it comes from a really privileged place for me to say that, but this is how I see it. Okay, so in Malaysia, we have a lot of fake goods. Like we have this place called the Petaling Street where it literally just sells fake goods. And I can understand when some people, for example, they really like designer bags. They really cannot afford designer bags. I mean, I don't know how much will a designer bag cost. I think one is about 5,000 ringgit, and you can get it for 100 to 150 or even less in Petaling Street or even on Shoppee. I would totally understand if somebody would actually go and buy the fake bag because you really like them, you really like that certain brand, you feel like you're a fan and you really need one, but then you cannot afford it. And comparatively, 5,000 ringgit to 100 ringgit, that is 50 times differences. Okay, so I would totally understand if you cannot afford 50 times of something for the price of a bag, and so you can only afford 100 ringgit and then you buy the fake ones. I can understand, although I personally don't do that. I can understand why somebody would want to buy fake goods like that, like expensive bags or expensive shoes. But with tarot decks, so this one 65 ringgit on Book Depository, the original price is 65, and that is just 4 to 5 times more expensive. So for me, it doesn't make sense that you wouldn't want to be able to save 4 to 5 times more or something when you can get the original one. 15 ringgit for a deck of fake cards is actually expensive. I would totally understand when some people say, I really want to read tarot, but I cannot afford cards. Well, I feel like for you to be able to practice this well, it's really worth it that you can actually save some money and then get a proper original deck of your own. My first deck, the Tarot of Pagan Cats, is only 44 ringgit because at that time that was what I can afford. It's original, it's small, but at least it's original, and 44 ringgit is just 3 times more than 15 ringgit, so I would rather spend 3 times more to get an original deck than to get a fake one from China. Next, we're going to talk about the quality of this card. Okay, so of course, as most of you guys will know, this knockoff version, I think this is the same kind that they sell in Wish, in Amazon, in AliExpress. So first of all, they just come with this box, and I know this is not the original box. I think the original one comes with that hard cardboard box, and this is just a normal tuck box. It's really small, and they have this QR code here where you can scan and you will get a PDF version of the instruction booklet. So it doesn't come with an instruction booklet. I have looked at the instruction booklet in the PDF form. It's like a scanned copy of the actual original book, and it's fine, but I really don't like looking at things in my computer, so yeah, that's one thing. So this is how the cards look like. So you guys can see that, you know, it's actually really 100% copy of the original. And the images, I'm not sure how the original look like because I've never seen it up close. But I think, you know, the images are slightly faded. I don't know. It looks like that to me. And some of the bags, it's not printed well. If you can see the edges, you see here, it's this side is thinner and this side is thicker. So the backings are not centered. That's one. And I was really lucky to be able to find a seller that has a lot of good ratings, and so I know that the cards are all complete and the printings are all accurate. But I've also heard of some horror stories where they buy it and then like some of the images were like faded, like black and white, or they don't get complete cards, or some of the writings are in Chinese, and I think that's really just unfortunate for people. The sides, as you guys can see, is gilded with gold like the original one. When I first bought these though, it was all really sticking together. It came like in clumps of 4, and then I had to separate them one by one, which in turn leads to the edges here being really torn. It looks like I've had this card for 10 years already when I just only have them for like a few days. The cardstock is really thin. I don't know if that's how it is with the original deck, but it feels kind of plasticky, like it's not paper, so hopefully that means it can last a bit longer. I don't really like how they shuffle. The size is nice, that is small, and it's a bit square-ish. I don't know if that's how the original looks like. I don't like how it shuffles because they feel like they will always stick together and then they will come up like this. Excuse me, which I don't really like, and the edges are a bit sharp, so every time I shuffle my hand will hit those sharp edges and it just feels kind of painful. So I don't really like that. I keep getting a lot of the same cards in the first few times that I shuffle them for clients, and that's really not nice. So I just have to like keep separating them for a while for me to be able to get the correct reading. A lot of reviews have been saying that the gold edges keep falling off and that it's really messy, but as you guys can see, it doesn't fall off that much. You can see in my hand, so you know it does fall off, but it's not like it's making a mess all over the place. And after a few shuffles, it actually stops crumbling. So that's great, and I'm okay with that. Not a big issue for me. So at the end of the day, I will tell you guys that please, you shouldn't buy fake or knockoff cards. If you really want to read tarot and you're really interested in reading tarot and getting a card, please just buy the original one. And you get a lot with the original one. I mean, with 60 ringgit, 70 ringgit, 100 ringgit even, you get really nice box, you get a booklet, and some of tarot decks that I see that I haven't got myself, they come with a lot of free things, which is so special and so amazing for you to be able to own something and it's original and you know that you work hard for it, and so you will feel more connected to it. I feel like the only times that I will ever buy another knockoff deck is when I really like it and I really feel connected to it and I cannot find it anywhere. Then only I will buy it. I hope you guys have found this video today informative and also entertaining. So let me know in the comments below what you think about fake knockoff cards, and would you buy it, and have you ever got any of them yourself? Okay, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye bye.